Welcome back to Real Estate Sales TV. This is Danny Morel. Excited you decided to come for this amazing episode where I'm going to be talking to you about the 7 steps that it takes to ensure that you're successful, whether it's in real estate, title, or mortgage. So get ready, because I think it'll never be the same after you see these 7 steps. All right, well, welcome back. Got to share with you, I've got my notes up here because I want to make sure that I give you the content the way that is best to be delivered and the way that it'll impact you the most. If you've got a pen and a piece of paper, I recommend you pull it out real fast, because these are the kind of, or I guess you could say this is the kind of episode in where if you take this information, you can actually, take the notes, put it up in front of you, and at any point in time you can review and you can typically see where your business is off, if it's off or if it's on or whatever the case may be, okay? So what I'm going to cover with you today are the 7 steps that it takes in order to succeed. Forget about real estate. Let's just talk about life. Let's just talk about any business that you decide to do, okay? Because I believe that these are fundamental steps. When I look back at my career and when I look back at the years when I was selling real estate, or the years that I had my coaching company, or now that we have our brokerage, and it's kind of crazy because family and friends will always ask me, how the heck did you do it so fast, right? By 27, selling 150 homes, in a year, getting 500 coaching clients. Imagine that. And our coaching company generated over $1 million in revenues, and and our brokerage in 2 years closing over 650 transactions. That kind of stuff doesn't happen just overnight typically. And you're right, it doesn't happen overnight, but there are a set of 7 principles that as long as you follow, I believe that your life will never be the same. And the first one, write down number 1, is you've got to make a very distinct decision to decide to live by faith versus fear. You've got to decide to live by faith versus fear. I gotta tell you, I cannot stress enough, that is the foundation of everything we do. Because when someone is faithful, when someone is a believer, when someone is out there and they have a vision or something that's pulling them or gravitating them towards a bigger goal, bigger than just one transaction, there's something that happens in that person's confidence. There's something that happens in that person's being, in that person's aura. And I said the word being because that's exactly what it is. It's a being choice. Write that down. You've got to make a being choice, and you've got to declare in your life before anything else to live by faith versus fear, especially in this business. Think about this. Most of the time what we ask you to do is pick up the phone and call people you don't know. Go out and door knock people you don't know. Go out and host an open house with people you don't know. Go out and invest your own hard-earned money in marketing to people that you don't know. That takes a lot of fear, right? Well, what happens if your life is controlled, that takes a lot of faith, right? But what happens if your life is controlled by fear? Well, what happens is that you won't pick up the phone. You won't go knock on that door. You won't go and host the open house. You won't go out and do the things that you know you need to do, because ultimately you're afraid of the possibility or an outcome that could be negative, like somebody not liking you or somebody rejecting you. So that's step number 1. And I want you to ask yourself and really look within yourself and ask yourself this question. Am I currently living by faith or by fear? Am I currently living by faith or by fear? And the reason why I want you to ask that is I want you to take it a step further. And I want you to write down the 2 to 3 dominant thoughts that are going on in your head most of the day. Right now, write them down. I want you to write down the 2 to 3 thoughts that are going on in your head, and I'll help you. Some of you are thinking, how am I going to pay my bills? Some of you could be thinking, I'm amazing, I'm the best. Some of you are thinking, oh my God, I didn't prospect again today. Some of you may be thinking, you know what, I'm gaining a little too much weight. Some of you may be thinking on a continuous basis, what are they going to think? Whatever it is, you know what it is. Because I can guarantee you, if you're a human being and you're watching this video, you have thoughts. And these thoughts are being replayed over and over and over again. Now, once you have those thoughts, I want you to identify, are they faith-filled thoughts or are they fear-filled thoughts? Very simple. Put a faith next to it or put a fear next to it. And then I want you to take a look at that, and I want you to honestly assess that and honestly assess how long you've been thinking in that manner, okay? Because once you look at it and you realize that it's just a thought, then you can detach yourself from that thought, and you can put yourself in a state where you can choose to not think that way if you're thinking in fear-based mode. And I got to tell you, if you look at all the producers in your office, you will notice one thing, and I promise you that it never fails. The top producing and peak performing agents are faith-filled individuals, and the people that are struggling are fear-filled individuals. Think about that one for a second, okay? And if you need help with that one, look me up on Facebook, facebook.com/real estate sales TV, and send us a message, and I'd love to help you out with that. I got a passion for that, all right? The second step, once you decide to live by faith, number 2 is you got to decide what you want. That's the second big problem that I see in our industry. People are not very clear with what they want. I remember that, my entire life I've always been clear with what I wanted. When I was, 18 years old, living in a 2-bedroom apartment in Rialto, California, in not the greatest part of the city, I knew I wanted to get out of there, right? And then I was very clear with where I wanted to get out. I wanted to buy my mom a house by the time I was 21, right? And then I wanted to sell the house that we had, and I wanted to buy a house in Rancho Cucamonga, which is a better city, right? And then what I wanted to do was I wanted to sell 50 homes a year. That was my big goal, right? And then what I wanted to do is I wanted to make $500,000 by the time I was 23, right? Because no one does that, right? And then what I wanted to do was I wanted to make $1 million. And then what I wanted to do was I wanted to have a net worth of $1 million. And then what I wanted to do is I wanted to start to buy and flip properties. And then what I wanted to do, you get the picture? You see, there's always something that you've got to want that is a lot bigger, a lot more exciting, a lot sexier than where am I going to find a deal to pay the bills? Because trust me, when you start thinking, where am I going to find the deal to pay the bills, guess what you'll get? Just enough deals to just pay enough bills. So think about that. Number 2 is you got to decide what you want. Number 3, this is a great one. Make a plan and start with the ending first. Make a plan and start with the ending first. And as a matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do. Just because I want to spend some time here, I'm going to leave the next 4 steps for the next video next week. So next Wednesday at 1 o'clock, you'll be able to see the next 4 steps. And I want you to really consider this. You cannot accomplish anything without a plan. And here's what I mean. And I'll actually make a video for you to show you how I do this. But let's say today, you're looking at this video, 2013, right? I'm going to challenge you, and I want you to answer this one question. Where do you want to be in the year 2018? Think about that. Where would you like your life to be? And if you need some help, write down number of units closed, number of listings taken, number of closed volume, number of sales made, right? Lifestyle, what kind of lifestyle that you have? What kind of clothes are you wearing? What kind of watch is on your wrist? What kind of home do you live in? Or maybe for some of you, that's not exciting. So maybe what kind of car do you drive? Or maybe for some of you, that's not exciting. Okay, great. How many investments do you own? How many rental properties do you have? How much passive income is coming into your life? How much less do you have to work now 5 years from now, right? Or even that may not be exciting. Here's a great one. How are you contributing back to the world? How are you contributing back to people that maybe are a little less fortunate? What are you able to do to give back to the lives of other people? Or maybe that's not exciting. Maybe for you is how much more time are you able to spend with your kids, with your wife, or with your husband, or with your family? When you travel, where is it that you're able to travel to? Does this make sense? Guys, I gotta tell you, if you're not clear with what you want and if you don't make a plan to achieve it, then it's never gonna happen, right? So you start with the end in mind. Let's start 2018, 5 years down the road, right? And for me, let's say, I honestly believe that any agent watching these videos can sell 100 houses a year. As a matter of fact, it's a fact. I've proven it, I've taught it, I've seen it happen with some of my clients. I did it in my own life, and you can sell 100 homes a year within 5 years. Ready? You take that goal, and you take the 100 sales in 2018, and you start chopping it down, and you divide it by 5. Some of you are at 20 right now, right? So all you have to do is make up 80. So then that means if you're at 20 this year, I don't know, maybe you need to hit 30 next year, right? Maybe the year after that, you need to be at 35 or 40. Maybe the year after that, you need to bump it up and get to 55. Maybe the year after that, you need to get to 70, so forth and so on. And then you make a plan. How much staff will I need? Will I need a buyer's agent to help me out? How much role playing should I be doing, right? How many more listings will I need to take? And you just start asking yourself these questions, guys. It's simple when you really think about it. Nothing is stopping you other than you yourself. That's it. And you can apply these first three principles to any business, any endeavor that you have, right? Step number one, decide to live by faith, by fear. You're going to live one way or another. It's a lot better to live by faith versus fear, right? It's a lot better to believe in yourself. Step number two, decide what you want. I know what I want. I know what I want for this channel. I want to impact thousands of people. I've got a vision that here at our brokerage in Rancho Cucamonga, there will be people from all over the world flying here to our office to get the coaching, the training, and be a part of the amazing environment that we're creating. That's my vision. I just want to contribute, right, to this amazing industry that's helped me out so much, right? What do you want? Maybe you want to sell 100 houses. Maybe you want to make $1 million. Don't cut yourself short. Think big. Step number three, make a plan and start with the end in sight first. So make a plan for 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Describe it in detail and then start to chip away at it little by little and identify what are the key issues or what are the key goals or what are the key milestones that you need to achieve year by year on your way to making that goal a reality. I hope you can tell I get really, really excited about this. I have a definite passion for it because at the end of the day, guys, I'm just a guy that came from a pretty rough background, that had a dream, a vision, and a goal, and I actually made it happen. And so I know that if I can make it happen, I know that I can help you make it happen. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I promise you, as a matter of fact, next week, on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, I'm not going to go into the 4 remaining steps. I've got an amazing interview with one of my good friends and one of the nation's best NLP trainers, Mr. Shadi Bazzi. And what he's going to do is he's going to teach you the power of language and sales skills. And we're going to actually handle one of the oldest objections in the book. We're each going to handle how to get past commission cutting clients, okay? So I can't wait for you to see that video. I'm excited about this one. Hopefully you found a lot of value from it. And as always, make sure you subscribe because a lot of times we're busy, we're making deals happen and we forget, and YouTube will remind you that the video has been uploaded on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. And once again, look for us on facebook.com/Real Estate Sales TV. Hopefully you found a lot of video. Remember, 3 steps: rewind, play it again, think about it, and put pen to paper and start taking action today. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.